Hello students, this is Mrs. Miles
and Mrs. Taylor,
and we are excited today to show you how to get into Flex Time Manager, which is the online system that we will use this year for you to pick your Eagle Time classes. So if right now everybody will take their Chromebook and go ahead and log in to this web address. Teachers, I'd also encourage you to grab a marker and write this web address on your board so that it's there and everybody can have it and access it. If you do not have your Chromebook or your own device, this will work on a phone. It's not as clear, and we actually recommend that you are using your Chromebook, but we wanted to just let you know everybody should be on some type of device at this moment. Those of you that don't have a device, we'll give you some instructions later, but you probably want to be taking notes right now so that you can go to the library at lunch and maybe get on a computer and go in and pick your Eagle Time activities at that time, or you can do this from home. So I am going to go ahead and open up a web browser as well and get this onto my computer as well. So I'm going to leave that there for everybody that needs it. And now I am going to log in. All right. And teachers, if you want to log in as well, or if you want to go through with us, please feel free to. www.FlexTimeManager. And the website's pretty easy to remember. It's www.flextimemanager.com, but then you're going to put a C with the login. Okay. So once you get to this site, you are going to go ahead and click Login with Cleaver. I'm going to kind of lower this down here for anyone that still needs it, but hopefully it is on, well, I'm going to hope that that's on the board right now. So we are good to go. And you should come to a screen like this, and it says Northwest Independent School District, and you're going to go ahead and push Login on that Google button. And it is your same credentials that you log into everything here. The one you use for Moodle, go ahead and use that to log in. So I'm going to go ahead and log in right now as a student. And then you're going to put in your credentials again. And right here I'm typing my first name dot last name, and then I am typing in my password. Might take a second, but then everybody should come up to a screen. And I'm not quite sure exactly what week yours is on, but if everybody sees over here, I'm using a little blue button over here in the right-hand corner. If you will go ahead and click on that button until everybody sees the week 9/18 through 9/22. And you can see that I have some activities that I can choose to go to. And so the activities that I have for the week, you can see that, of course, there's nothing here listed on Monday because Monday you'll always be in your advisory class. On the other days of the week, you can see that I have various activities. And here you see that I have less activities on Friday to pick from than I do on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And everybody, if you scroll down, you should end up seeing a button that says Join Activity, because I have even more activities than you see here. I should have most of my teachers listed, and I should also have some optional activities that are the library and the Go Center. But when I click this Join Activity button, everything I can pick from is listed here.
And anything that is grayed out on the side is just not a choice for you, because the only people that you can choose from are your own teachers.
And so just ignore those grayed out ones. And so I can either click on here that on Tuesday, I am going to click to go to percussion. And I'm going to go ahead and click register. And when I do that, percussion moved up to the front of my list. And that's the one that I am actually registered for. But I can change my mind and say, oh, you know what? I thought I was going to go there, but I actually have a test review that I need to do in Spanish, so I'm going to change to Spanish. I can either do that join activity at the bottom if I don't see Spanish listed, but if I see it there, I could choose just to click in that box. And when I click in that box, when it tilts, takes a second, it's going to move up to the top. Please make sure that after you click, you see I had a little bit of trouble there. I thought I clicked it, but I didn't. Until it moves up to the top and has that little check mark there, you're not actually registered for that course. So now, right now, the way my schedule looks is I'm registered for Spanish 2. On Wednesday, you can see that even though Miss Johnson right here is up at the top, I haven't registered for her yet because I don't have any blue check mark. So just don't assume it's the first one. It's the first one plus the check mark. So on Wednesday, I might decide that I need to go to my English teacher. So I'm going to pick her for Wednesday. And it didn't take, so I'm going to make sure I click it again until I am positive that it moves up there. And so you can see I'm having a little bit of difficulty right there. And I'm going to come over to this one and register. And now I have it. So please, I'm glad that you see me having that little bit of clicking difficult so that you can see that until it's up there, that is not actually your class that you picked. And so you're going to pick for the entire week based on how you're doing in your classes. And I can pick core teachers or I can pick elective teachers. Right now I'm going to fill in my other date with science. And now I have my schedule for the week. I had already done Friday here. So you can see for next week, I'm going to Spanish 2. I'm going to social studies with Coach Morris. I am going to science with Miss Harden, and I'm going to Spanish 2 again on Friday. Now right here, you can see how these are uneven and I have less activities to pick from on Friday. Sometimes your teachers are going to be in activities that they're not available to you because they're doing a tutorial session for a certain group of students. In that case, you can't pick them. So you want to make sure you look at this whole week, because when I'm looking at this week on Friday, my English teacher, Miss Morris, wasn't available on Friday. I clicked the blue button and she's still not listed. She's grayed out on Friday. So I need to choose wisely because I know Friday is not an option to go to Miss Morris. So for me, if I wanted to get her in, you know what? I realized I have 2 days of Spanish here. I'm going to go over and change this so that I make sure that I get Miss Morris in one day. And did I get her yet? No. I'm going to click on that blue button. It seems like the blue button does it a little bit better. And maybe I was actually blocked. Oh, I'm blocked from her as well on that day. So that just goes to show you're going to have to pick wisely and don't assume that your teacher is available every single day of the week.
And you also may see different color besides the brown that is on the screen. If you will focus at the top of your screen, you'll see gold, purple, blue, dark blue, the brown, green, and gray. Whenever you have been signed up for a class, you won't be able to get out of that class because the teacher has signed you up to be there. Mm-hmm. On those days when you see a color besides brown, you have to attend that specific tutorial on that day. Mm-hmm. So keep that in mind as you're looking across. Like Ms. Miles just said, you may have to schedule your week wisely according to what you have available.
Mm-hmm. So right now, the way my schedule looks right now, where I had choices on every day, Some of you just opened your computer and you're wondering, why do I have a purple on mine? And I can't pick any other teacher. It's because somebody has already requested you and they want you in that classroom on that day, and that's where you need to report. And so if you click on the See More button right there, it's going to tell you what room that activity's in. Now, right now, this is being fixed as we speak, but it says the capacity is 98 students. Well, you guys know we don't have 98 seats available in a classroom. So when you're looking at yours right now, you're not going to see that 98. You probably see 18, 20, but there are a limited amount of seats available in every room. So it is a first come, first serve system where once you pick that, it's going to take away the capacity and those seats may be filled and you might not get your first choice. You might also need to work with your teacher if all the seats are filled. You might need to ask your teacher, do you have one extra seat where you can add me into that room on that day because I really need to be there. So that's something important for you as you're playing around and looking at this system.
So one of the things that you need to pay attention to as well is how your teacher is scheduling their weeks. We have teachers that teach multiple things, and so, for instance, they may teach Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. If that's the case, they may decide, say, Tuesdays and Thursdays are just my Algebra 1 days, and Wednesday and Friday are my Algebra 2 days. So communicate with your teacher to make sure you're not signing up for a class that you don't actually belong to and that you're doing work that is not really the class that you're in. So talk to your teachers and look for those notifications from them.
That is, yes, very important, because this comes down to communicating with your teachers, asking, hey, what are you going over on Tuesday and Thursday or Monday, not Monday, but
Tuesday,
yeah,
Wednesday.
What are you teaching that day? And so this is how you're going to use the system. Now, here are a couple reminders. Once you have your schedule, you might start going on to the next week because you want to schedule more. I'm going to encourage you not to, because those will be dropped. You're scheduling 1 week at a time. This is about goal setting. So if you pick something on the other pages, you're going to want to unclick out of that activity because you're scheduling 1 week, because next week, even though you see it, there could be some changes. So you're picking things that aren't even really an option. So focus on 1 week. So every Monday in advisory, you're going to come in here and you're going to pick. You can change, but this is your ticket into that room. So when it's time to go to advisory, because you click that, you're on the teacher's roll. So don't try to go to a class that you haven't picked, because you'll be turned away. And then at that point, you might end up in the lecture hall where we're reteaching you about how Eagle Time works. So please make sure that you report to the class that has that blue check mark. Ms. Taylor, is there anything else that you can think about at this time?
No, I think that is good. I think if you've got, let's just focus on September 18th through the 22nd being scheduled for now.
Mm-hmm. And there are some videos here that will teach you more about the system. If anyone wants to go in and look at some of these videos, you're more than welcome to take a look. You can see this little video that I'm looking at right here, where you can see some different colors that might pop up on somebody's screen. But we look forward to your questions. We look forward to using FlexTime Manager. And this week, you are going to make sure that you are going to second period every single day until we let you know everybody understands the system and we're ready to change how we move from first period into Eagle Time. But this week, you'll go to second period. We'll make sure everybody's signed up, and then we'll release for you guys to start going to the places that you pick for Eagle Time. So if there are questions, we're going to come back on the screen in just a minute and answer those questions. Thank you.